Hey gamers, how's it going? Today is one of those big days. A new Nintendo Direct dropped this around 8 a.m. A lot of speculation has been debunked, or those Nintendo insiders, all those rumors. Oh look, there's gonna be a new Metroid. Well, I guess that didn't happen, but you know what? We did get a lot of great new information. First and foremost, straight out the gate, a new Fire Emblem. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I really enjoyed Fire Emblem Awakening for the 3DS. I think it brought a lot of new gamers to the Fire Emblem series, and I think it was just overall a solid title. Was it as good as Advance Wars 2 on the Game Boy Advance? Probably not. It was fairly easy, yes, I hear that, but you could crank up the difficulty, you could play old school. There's a lot of DLC too that paid tribute to the older Fire Emblem games, so I was just excited to hear that they opened with a new Fire Emblem. You never see that there. Okay, there's going to be a lot of cuts in this one. There was that new Puzzles Over Dragons game that looked sort of interesting. It reminds me of the old Henry Hatsworth on the DS. That just looks somewhat interesting to me. It wasn't, you know, I'm gonna rush out and get it day one, but it came with two games. It came with the original Puzzles Over Dragons, and then there's a Mario version that takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, so that should be cool. But then I felt it was kind of strange that they then announced that Pokemon puzzle game directly after. And it looks like it's similar gameplay, only it's free to play, so then you're like spending money on turns. I was never a fan of that. I think the only successful game that pulled that off was No Heroes Allowed on the Vita. I actually went out and bought that unlimited pickaxe for that, but that's another story. I'm gonna come into frame now. So recently, I purchased my very own amiibo. Like, I told myself, no, I'm not gonna get caught up in this fad. You know, it's just Skylanders, but you know, it's Nintendo. They don't really have too much official merchandise out there that looks good or has a practical use. I know a lot of it's just DLC, cosmetic stuff, just, you know, physical DLC, but I was at a GameStop and I just wandered in, and, you know, I saw somebody that I regularly play with. That's right, Diddy Kong. No fun allowed when you play against Diddy Kong, I understand. It wasn't Rosalina or anything, it wasn't me, I didn't do that. But, you know, good news for us who wanted to purchase Rosalina, whoever we are. It looks like Nintendo's going to be reprinting amiibo figures, so you will probably see more Rosalina, more Marth. I think anything that they showed off today, like that you could use the amiibos for, because so there were like Fire Emblem characters and Project Steam, and then there was Rosalina, Wario, and Donkey Kong and stuff that you could use in Mario Party 10. I think those will be some of the first to see. Excuse me for a second. It might be my new t-shirts. But there were other amiibos that were announced. There were the Wave 4 amiibos. The only one I seem to be interested in, I guess, besides Wario, would be Ness. And, you know, I gotta show that Earthbound love. There seemed to be more amiibo functionality throughout the entire presentation. So, especially with the new Nintendo 3DS XL, because it has that NFC built in. And a lot of people complain, well, you can only use the amiibos to save data from Smash or Mario Party 10 and not both at the same time. It doesn't really bother me because I don't main Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, so on and so forth. Like Rosalina was another one. My main is going to probably be Diddy Kong or Ike or somebody like that. So it doesn't bother me, but I can see how it could bother other people. The exciting news, aside from the new Nintendo 3DS XL Splatoon, it looks amazing. I was super excited to see more gameplay and how the weapons would be balanced, and you can have custom characters wherever you get new armor and weapons, and they modify certain aspects of your character. It looked really cool. There was like this thing that looked like a clothing rack that shut out water. It was like a water fountain wall, and you could walk through it and get harmed if you're on the opposing team. So that was cool. Of course, I'm excited for Majora's Mask 3DS. I wasn't at first, but I know now that it's going to make use of some of the new Nintendo 3DS XL features. Hyrule Warriors is going to be getting Majora's Mask characters. Tingle, man! Haven't played as him since Rosy Rupee Land Adventure. And of course, young Link with the Fierce Deity mask. I assume Skull Kid might be the third character, but we'll see as we go. So let's share some more, I guess, depressing or angry news from me. Exclusivity. So there was 4 new Nintendo 3DS XLs announced for North America. There was the red one, the black one, and the Majora's Mask one, and then there was a Monster Hunter bundle. Now the red, black, and Majora's Mask, those are all base models. They don't come with a charger. They're all $200. So I had that clarified for me. I thought Majora's Mask would come with the game. No, it does not. But Monster Hunter 4 will come with the game pre-installed, and that's $230 for that version. That version also is exclusive to GameStop. Now, GameStop's running a promotion right now. You trade in your 3DS XL, you get $100 in credit. Not too bad. You trade in your old 3DS, I'm rocking the Ambassador, have been since day one. You trade that in, you get $75 in store credit. So not too bad. It used to be $30 yesterday. So I ended up I wanted to pre-order a new 3DS XL because it was time for me to upgrade, and I'm at that point. So first I asked about the Majora's Mask one because it looks really good, and they said we sold out of those like instantly. I was like, oh well, that's a shame. So the Monster Hunter one then, they said to me, the Monster Hunter one is available only online, so we're not going to take any orders in store. And I was like, really? So I can't trade in my 3DS towards it? And they're like, no, unfortunately, we don't have that built up in our system to do that. I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to pay $230 to order this Monster Hunter 3DS XL that you can't get anywhere else. So like, whatever, treat myself nice. So I order it, of course, after tax and shipping an additional $10, came out to $250. Oh my god. So here is the benefit to that, and it's a minor benefit at best. So the new Nintendo 3DS XL, I'm tired of fucking saying that, it's built, it has a memory card that comes with a 4GB micro SD, and you're like, oh, that sounds like a great value. Well, it's not if you had the old 3DS like I did, because I went out and bought a 32GB SD card at high capacity. Originally, if I went to GameStop, I would have to, I have so many digital games, so let's put it this way. I've got Phoenix Wright, Umehara Kawase, a bunch of Virtual Console titles, my Game Boy Advance games, so on and so forth. So all those games, if I were to trade in my 3DS at GameStop, I would then have to wait until the launch day and do a system transfer inside the store. That would take probably 4 fucking hours to do. These things are super slow. Look like a jackass all day. Or trust the GameStop employees not to mess with my system or steal it. So I didn't want to do that. So now I would have to get my system in from online, and then I would have to go out there and purchase a 32GB micro SD card, and then transfer my system over, my old Ambassador over to the new one, wait for that process to happen, and then I'll just kind of have my old Ambassador lying around, so maybe I could sell that and try and make a little money back. That's the whole ridiculous process of it. I know that maybe the new 3DS XL won't be that different. I mean, it cuts down on load times. It's got the face tracking on it. It has Xenoblade on it, so that's going to be great, you know. I'm excited about that. Amiibo functionality I can give or take. I don't really care. And then one little thing to close out this video that I was excited about was that they announced that on the eShop you can buy Wii Original games. Now, Iwata kind of worded this weirdly, and I think, you know, you can blame the English or something. But he said that you can now play any game that uses a virtual console controller. So one of those old guys that plugs into the Wiimote. Any one of those Wii games, you can play completely on the gamepad. So they've made that work. The way he said it, though, made it sound like when you put in one of your Wii discs, that's completely virtual console controller compatible. You will now be able to play it on the gamepad. So that's what I'm going to test out to close this video. So we're going to reappear in my room. Alright, hey guys, you can't see my TV probably all that well, but I'm sitting here with my gamepad. Let me unplug that shit. I'm sitting here with my gamepad. I'm gonna check out and see if what Iwata promised was true, or if it's just the eShop versions of those Wii titles like Mario Galaxy 2 and Punch-Out, so on and so forth. I have with me Xenoblade Chronicles. This game is fantastic. One big problem if you want to play on your gamepad, normally you couldn't use any of these buttons. None of these buttons would work. You would have to use something like this. Okay, there's supposed to be a virtual console controller on here, but I don't have it. You'd have to then do something like, you'd have the gamepad here, and then you'd have to sync up the Wiimote to it, and then you couldn't press any of these buttons, so you'd have to balance this on your knees. I will demonstrate. I just purchased my Wii U today because I heard the Wii U is the only next-gen console that is completely backwards compatible. And you know what? I am super excited to play all my old Wii games on the gamepad in the convenience of my own bed. Oh man, so many great times with that system. You know what I hear? All the games that use the virtual console controller are going to be compatible with the gamepad. It just makes sense. I can now play games like Pandora's Tower in bed. No More Heroes, Desperate Struggle in bed. Xenoblade Chronicles in bed. And Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon in bed. I am so hyped to play games in bed. Oh wow! I just popped in Xenoblade Chronicles and I'm gonna play it on my gamepad in bed, no TV. Awesome! So cool! Wow! What's that? Do you see this? Wii software cannot be controlled with the Wii U gamepad. Then what's the point of streaming it to the gamepad? You know what? I'm not gonna let that bother me, because you know what I have? I have a Wiimote, and you know what's connected to it? A classic controller, because I bought the one without the handle grips because I invested in Nintendo products for the first time around before they improved them a few months later. That's okay. Let's play Xenoblade Chronicles. Okay, I just want to get comfortable here, so just put it on my knees. No? God damn it. If I touch one of these buttons, that pop-up keeps coming up. Here we go. Yes! Yes! I am playing Xenoblade in bed. Gotta load the save data. Come back. Yes! This is the true power of the Wii U! Fuck, can I really keep this up throughout the whole game? Here we go. Yes! Nice! Yes! Now it's ride time, baby! Oh, this is completely comfortable! This is so fun! There's really no better way to play. You're gonna learn something today, casuals. Anyone who buys Xenoblade Chronicles on the new Nintendo 3DS XL is a goddamn fool. Yeah. Okay, so there's Xenoblade Chronicles up here. Okay, so I have it on my gamepad. Let's see if this will work. It's like point that Wiimote, right? It's still saying Wii software cannot be used with Wii U gamepad. Let's try and bypass this screen and see if it works. So this is normally where you'd be able to use your Virtual Console controller. Nope.
Iwata, you goddamn liar!